Has anything special ever happened to you on the month and year that you were born? For me, May of 1993 was a great year filled with many great events that I thought would be worthy of marking down in history, and I'm going to share with each of you 3 events. The first event that I found that really stood out in my mind and was really much of a success story was the mission made by the NASA Space Shuttle Columbia. The mission was supposed to take off in late February, and with many long and complicated problems, they had to postpone it for 2 months before they could actually take off. So in late April, they were finally able to get the space shuttle up into space. And when they got it up in there, everything was fine until they had one malfunction which caused them to lose contact with Houston, and they realized that they would not have enough power to come home. So having been able to actually turn the space shuttle around and actually make it closer to Earth a little bit, they regained communication with Houston and was able to find a way to shorten out the power so that they could have more power for fuel and able to get home better. The second event, which occurred on May 10th, 1993, was considered the worst factory fire ever in worldwide history. The fire occurred in a toy factory that was built and operated by Cater Industries, and the building that they were in was divided into 3 sections with 3 different types of productions that was going on. When they gave out reports, they found out that there was actually no fire safety inside the building at all, and by that I mean no alarms, no fire extinguishers, no sprinklers, and no escape routes for the workers. What really started out by the fire, it raised question by a lot of people that were actually working by the machines, so they started shutting down the machines to go outside, and the security officer there that was placed for safety reasons told them that it was just a malfunction, that there was just smoke, everything's fine, and to go back to your stations. So they all went back to their stations like they said, and within 15 minutes a steel girder collapsed because of a huge flame in one of the back rooms. And as a result of that, over 188 people died, mainly women, and over 450 plus people, mainly women, were injured, and by injured that only categorizes severely injured and permanently injured. Further reports said that the building was actually built very poorly, and that most people considered it a death trap because of its poor structure. And the last event that I'm going to share with you that occurred in May of 1993 was the last airing of the episode Cheers. Cheers was a sitcom about a bunch of people gathering at a bar, sharing drinks, and having fun with one another, telling each other jokes and picking at each other. And the show began in 1980, and it had low expectations. And the only way that those people thought that it would come up and start rising was that The Cosby Show, which aired right before it, aired, and people watched it and then watched Cheers, and so they started gaining interest in it, and they said by 1990 through 1991 it was the #1 watched show on NBC. Also, they said that in the 11 years of it actually airing, they said it was the longest running comedy on NBC as well. Cheers had 26 Emmys and 111 nominations, so it was safe to say overall it was a pretty good show. And the reason why it stopped was former star Ted Danson quit because he had complications with the cast and he had a better job opportunity for more money. So for the final episode, the crew members decided that what they would do is have a 30-minute airing of everyone saying goodbye to each other, and followed by a 90-minute closing episode where they all sat around and talked about all of what they've done, what they've accomplished, and where they're going to go after this. And it finally brought to the Tonight Show, where they did a full entire broadcast of the episode Cheers. So those 3 events that occurred in May 1993 were something that I thought that was really special, and I hope that I gave you motivation to maybe look into your month and year that you were born and maybe find something special about it. Thank you.